Formula One Monoposto has arrived. I am your commentator, Cameron Simpson, and I will be here with you throughout the series. Here we will, in F1 Monoposto racing, we will have 6 rounds with all of your 20 favorite drivers in AI. We have got and those tracks we will have Canada, Monaco, Australia, Bahrain, the season finale in which it will be Azerbaijan, and of course the main event today, the Spanish Grand Prix. This looks to be an amazing one. Let's see about that. Here we go, the race about to start. The weather has come and bitten us here because we are in the rain. Rainy race on the first race of the series. What will this bring? It's lights out and away we go for the first ever time in F1 Monoposto. It's a great start for both Ferraris, but which Ferrari will be ahead into turn 1? It's Carlos Sainz who leads as there's a big accident involving cars like Gasly, Joe, Tsunoda, Ricciardo and Magnussen out of the race as well. A horrible accident on lap 1, which sees Magnussen the first ever retirement in the sport. That is not what you want to see. But right now, Sainz leads from Leclerc and then it's Max Verstappen. Following up behind them is George Russell, followed by Hamilton, who's battling away with Fernando Alonso, who moves up into P5. A lovely start for both of the Spanish drivers. Lando Norris follows up in P7, followed by Bottas in P8. Perez has fallen down the order into 9th, whilst Albon is in P10. Vettel is 11th. Is 11th for Aston Martin. 12th is Ocon. 13th is Mick Schumacher. 14th then Nicholas Latifi. Ahead of his fellow Canadian Lance Stroll. Ricciardo, after being caught up in that first lap incident, is 16th, followed by Gasly, Zhou Guanyu and Yuki Tsunoda, who is last. And oh dear, was that a little bit dirty there from Perez? You could just see him there shoving Lando Norris a bit wide. So I don't know about that, but that looks like Perez has just turned into very naughty boy mode. Lap 3 starts of this race then. Sainz only 5 tenths ahead of his teammate Charles Leclerc. But can anyone actually who will actually get the victory here is George Russell in the Mercedes. That's the fastest lap of this race. Oh my goodness me, round the outside has gone Sebastian Vettel and Lando Norris into turn 4. And Vettel, in a classy way, has just gotten the final point of this race so far. And it was a classy way that he did it. Yes, indeed he did. And you can see now that gap has widened a bit, only just a bit for Sainz. It's closing down again, but it's gone up to 6 tenths now. So Sainz is trying to get away here as Leclerc sets the new fastest lap of the race. As you can see with the purple line next to his position, in which that is 2. You can have a look here at Russell, who's trying to close the gap down on Verstappen, in which I think right now is and which I think right now is 1.2 seconds. So Russell, you could be seeing Russell on the podium as down at the back of the grid. Zhou Guanyu has ran wide, which has allowed both AlphaTauris to be going through 17th and 18th, but it still ain't an improvement for the two AlphaTauri teammates, but it is something. Have a look here. Perez, who is on the charge now after that little fallback. But Hamilton is keeping up to the Mexican. There it is still pretty close between them. About 5 tenths it is. As now we have a look at Daniel Ricciardo trying to eye up a move on Lance Stroll. He was going to try and do that round the outside, I think, into turn 3, but it isn't enough to ensure the move. It's completely done as Ricciardo runs wide again. Well, it's another car who's run wide, in which is Ricciardo. As we have a look here at Bottas battling away with Lewis Hamilton. It's teammate versus teammate, and it's what we love. It's former teammate v former teammate, and it's what we like to see in Formula 1. Well, F1 Monoposto. Hamilton and Bottas closing in to the Brits. There. So, Ricciardo here trying to close in on Lance Stroll. Here we go. Daniel Ricciardo, he was gonna try it, I think, round the outside there, again into turn 3, then tries it into turn 4, but is way too far back. And he's put some wheels on the grass again, has Ricciardo, which allows Pierre Gasly to go through up into 16th place. And if Gasly keeps on seeing drivers do this, then this could possibly be a way in which he could get past all of the drivers. It may not be efficient and it may be quite slow, but a way is a way. Vettel was trying to get past Alex Albon. Stroll's trying to get past Latifi. Doesn't work out though. It's Canadian versus Canadian here. Can we see an overtake anytime soon between these two? We don't for now, but we go one position higher than both of them to Ocon, and now we go, and there you just saw we were on board with Lewis Hamilton, and now we're back to the fight here between Latifi and Stroll, but it looks like the Gasly and Zhou are both coming into this fight. So this could be big. As here we go. Perez looking to get a move done on Fernando Alonso. Can he find a way past into turn 1? No, he can't. He was trying to find a way through, but thanks to that now, Hamilton has closed in massively. We have a look at what's happening now. Where those two are is, well, Russell. Perez runs wide, which allows Hamilton to go straight back past the Mexican. The Mexican there really did not need that. The man known as Checo really didn't wish that happened now. But Hamilton, because of that, has managed to make his way through. But look at Perez. Perez fighting back on Lewis Hamilton. This is what you'd love to see. Perez is back through. But here comes Hamilton. Can he get through? Oh my goodness. It keeps on changing the order. But it looks like down into turn 3. Hamilton gets the move done. What an overtake from the Brits. And Hamilton gets the move done around the outside into turn 3. absolutely amazing stuff from Hamilton there. As now he tries to look and put the pressure on Fernando Alonso. It ain't that close between those two. It could be a close affair as well, knowing the history that those two have in terms of great history, that is. Hamilton within 2/10 even now. Within 2/10 of Fernando Alonso, as he tries to look round the outside again into turn 3, but just can't. Going through turn 4, he needs to find a way past the Alpine, otherwise this could be race ruined as he goes wide as well. Right in the same place where Perez went wide. And Perez is back through again into 6th place. Unfortunate for Hamilton. But look, is he going to try and fight back? Oh my goodness me, it's nearly contact. But those two manage to find a way not to collide. That is just amazing. Now if we look at the front here, if we go to the front, Sainz and Leclerc are battling away here. You can see that it's only 8/10 between the two Ferrari teammates. And with all of the Spanish fans in the grandstands, I think they might all know who wants to win out of this one. But the Ferrari boys need to keep it clean, otherwise if they don't, it could end in disaster for them. And could lead to both of them going out or having one have damage and one spun round. So they need to be careful. At Ferrari they do. As we go on board here with Alex Albon trying to defend from Vettel. As we go back to the front, we go on board with Charles Leclerc, who is right now in 2nd place, as I said, battling with Sainz. Can he, though, manage to get the move done? And, can he get the move done? But first of all, he needs to think about how he is going to catch up. But not too far away, Max Verstappen is catching up to the Monegasque. So can Leclerc catch up to Sainz, or will Sainz be backing him off into Verstappen? We will have to see. It's probably teammate drama there. Like Leclerc really needing to defend this position of his. Lap 13 and we crossed the line. 1.1 seconds it is now between the two teammates. Sainz might just be starting to pull away from everyone. 3rd place is Verstappen and 4th is George Russell, who is having a pretty lonely race out there. Maybe he is 2.9 seconds behind Verstappen, and then at least 9 seconds ahead. Well, no, at least 10 seconds ahead of Alonso. So that is a pretty lonely race for the young Brit here. And now we have a look again at the battle for 5th place between Alonso, Perez and Hamilton. Hamilton in that fight has not managed to come up top trumps between him and Perez. Perez is still ahead of him, and Perez could be looking at a good enough finish here if he can hold on. As they come along down the straight, it's Perez getting closer and closer to Fernando Alonso. Can he get a move done? No, he's way too far back for that to happen. As we have a look at the front, lap 14, Carlos Sainz is on. We are nearly approaching the halfway stage of this race, and this could be big. And when I say big, I mean very big here. And a very, very big battle. Who will win out between the two Ferraris if if Leclerc can catch up. He does hold the fastest lap at the moment, but are his tyres giving up on him now? Leclerc is hoping not, that is not happening right now. Alonso, Perez and Hamilton here then. I think the rain's gotten a bit more heavier because it's turned very, very dark on the cameras there. And Hamilton still trying to find a way past Perez, who's then trying to find a way past Alonso. Hamilton still here then, but that gap is starting to extend even more. It is not looking good for the man from the man from Stevenage, as Alonso, Perez and Hamilton all cross the line. The gap between Alonso and Perez is 5/10, yet the gap between Perez and Hamilton is now about 1 second. Hamilton's chances here of a possible top 6 finish are dying off massively. Every time he spends every lap he spends behind Perez just chips the time away. Oh dear, Perez has ran wide, has he? It looks like he has, because he slowed down massively. He has had a massive speed downgrade going into that turn. Who's gonna come out on top in this time? It's the Perez and Hamilton show. They have been running the race with their battles on track, but it looks like Perez is going to win out in this one. And I think I heard that Gasly pitted. Yes, Gasly I think has pitted there. So Alonso, I guess, really holding up Perez and Hamilton here, because they should be up there with Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, who now sets a new fastest lap, and George Russell. But they are being held up by Fernando Alonso, and if they were to catch up, and if they were both to catch up to Russell, they need to find some 14 seconds. And we already had someone who's pitted now, four new tyres. That man who's pitted is Pierre Gasly. So Sainz starts lap 18. He is 8 tenths ahead of Leclerc, who is 2.2 seconds ahead of Verstappen. Alonso and Perez getting very close out onto the track. Perez is getting closer and closer to that 5th place by the minute. Can Alonso hold out till the end, or will Perez manage to barge his way through, or maybe even try a very, very risky undercut? So Sainz leads from so here's a little board rewind, or roundup. It is Sainz who leads from Leclerc, who's not very far behind him, and Hamilton's pitted. Hamilton has put himself into the pits. He is going for the full wet tyres. So here we go. What benefit does this give Hamilton? It's going to put him out in 12th place. Sorry, he is pitted and is out behind Bottas, Albon, Vettel, Norris and Mick Schumacher. So he was 7th, now has fallen down a few positions there. And Sainz has also gone into the pits. The provisional leader has gone into the pits. He is going to fall out of the podium as it stands. and Science pits comes out into P4. So this looks like that all of the intermediate tyre runners are pitting. So how would this work in strategy? I have no idea. But if everyone on the intermediates will be pitting, then that means that both Ferraris might need to give up their victory. As we have a look here at one of the intermediate tyres, in which is Yuki Tsunoda. He's trying to find a way past Zhou Guanyu, as Leclerc does not pit this lap. You can go on the rear end view of him. There. And Sainz is trying to chip away some of that lead. He is 11 seconds behind, and Alonso has finally pitted. So can Hamilton find a way through Alonso at last, or will he have to stay behind him that little bit more? There goes Albon, there goes Vettel, there goes Norris, and Hamilton has got Mick Schumacher stuck between him and Alonso. That is not good at all for the Brit. And this could result in trouble, possibly for Hamilton. And as the leader, Charles Leclerc, the only man in the top 10 who has the intermediate tyres on, starts lap 22. Here Verstappen closing up on him massively. You can have a look here. We go on board with the Dutchman. Here. Go, oh dear! Oh dear! That's Mick Schumacher! And Lando Norris involved too! It's unbelievable! Norris and Mick Schumacher collide. Here, and Leclerc has pitted. Leclerc pits. Where does he come out? He will come out P3 ahead of his teammate Sainz. No, not ahead of his teammate Sainz. That is just berserk. Lando Norris has collided with Mick Schumacher whilst going into the pits before the last corner. And well, that is just crazy. Both Haas drivers are out. That is not how they want to start their F1 Monoposto campaign at all. But Mick Schumacher out of the race after a freak accident there. Well, I'd probably say that it was a freak accident, but I don't know about you other guys at home. I'd say it was. So now the new order, after the two Ferraris have pitted, it's Verstappen who leads from George Russell in second place. Then it's Carlos Sainz in third. Leclerc for now is in fourth. Perez now is in fifth. The comeback from dropping down to P9 really does help out there. Bottas is sixth, followed by Albon in seventh. Vettel is in eighth. Alonso is ninth. With Hamilton right behind his tail, we can go to that battle now. Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh no! The two two AlphaTauris have clashed, and Ricardo and Zhou Guanyu have gone down with them. Zhou Guanyu is out of the race. Absolutely ballistic. Norris, though, is quite a long way back. So Zhou Guanyu may be out, but Norris is still there. Right now, as we have a look here, lap 23 of this race, and Zhou Guanyu out. Oh, a crazy clash between the two AlphaTauris results in Ricardo getting caught up with all of it, and Zhou Guanyu going out of the race. So, lap 26 starts. Verstappen leads from George Russell, and then it's Carlos Sainz in third place. Leclerc is in fourth place for Ferrari, and fifth after falling down to ninth is Perez. Sixth place is Valtteri Bottas, and seventh place in the Williams is Alexander Albon. I think he'll be very happy with that. Eighth place is Sebastian Vettel with Alonso in ninth. Hamilton is in 10th place with Ocon just shy of the points. As we have a look here at George Russell, we go on board with the Brit. There he is, 6.7 seconds behind the Dutchman of Max Verstappen there. Messed up my lines a bit there. As Perez laps Lando Norris and goes through to start his 27th lap out of 33. So, can Hamilton find a way through on Alonso? And for some reason, we have got the rear view camera on with Hamilton. And there we go, that's a bit more better. Yeah, Hamilton right now in an Alpine sandwich. And this could be very, very weird indeed. The top two have not pitted and have actually gone this whole race using their tyres, and this could be, I don't know, this looks like brilliant tyre work from those around the track. People like Russell, Verstappen, Perez, Bottas, Albon, all of those drivers who have stayed out on their wet tyres. Those people have managed to keep their tyres. Well, they've managed to let their tyres stay really well. As we look at the Hamilton-Alonso battle, this may only be for 9th place and 2 points, but ahead of them there is another battle in which is Albon and Vettel battling for 7th place here, but whilst they squabble 10 seconds up the road is Valtteri Bottas. So if anyone wants to go get 6th place, they'd have to gain a lot of time to catch up to the Finn. As Hamilton has gone wide, which could benefit in him now losing out to that P9 fight. He might have to settle now in this race for just the 1 point here. But we go ahead to the Albon and Vettel battle. There is Vettel trying to get past the Thai driver